One. All right, we're back. We've got a very special guest. She is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, performer. She's got an exciting new single and a show coming up. Please welcome SABRINA. How are you?
I'm great. How are you doing, Jay?
Oh, doing fantastic.
Wonderful.
Always good to catch up and see the creativity that you got going. Bring us up to date with your new single, Ghost. Tell us all about it.
Well, Ghosts is it was a really fascinating journey writing that song. It was, initially it was a dark song, and then it kind of went in a different place and became this happy song. Almost, we took it from a surreal place, and the beginning of the song is dark, and it's raining, and the music is the raindrops, and then you hear some thunder coming in, and then of course then the vocals come in, and it takes you on a journey. And it's basically a song that is about how we all have ghosts in our lives, and how we all have things of our past that, exist.
Great. Well, tell us the collaborative team. Who is playing, who is on, who is making this with you?
On Ghosts, well, I've got myself on piano. I've got the incredible Bobby Watson on bass, who was an extreme, and it is an extreme pleasure to work with. He's a good friend and an amazing human. I love him much. And then we had Brian Head on drums, which there were a number of songs on the album. I used different people, different players, because of their abilities. And this song in particular, and a couple of other ones, I had Brian Head on drums, and I could not have done it without him. He is such a talented soul. I had Laura Basilio on guitar, or Laurie Basilio, I should say correctly. I keep messing up her name. She is so talented, an extremely rare talent. She is just incredibly brilliant on guitar. And then I had the one and only Gary Herbig on sax. And I have to say, Gary is just one of those people who everyone has heard Gary. He's been on so many different songs and collaborations throughout the years. And, he was such an influence to me, and he's also a dear friend. So I am so grateful to have used his talents, and everyone else's on this album. And I'm just incredibly proud and of this album. This song, Ghost, is great. Just the way it turned out, I could not have imagined it turning this album into what it has become. Has been such a moment for me. And, of course, the pandemic has changed things at how we do music, and it's taken us to a very personal place in all of our lives as musicians and songwriters, because it's very depressing to not be performing, and it takes you to, some dark places when you can't express yourself. And being able to have this album come out when it did really put me in this strange position, because we were on tour and we were promoting the album, and then the pandemic hit, and we couldn't really do much after that, except, of course, interviews and trying to get things moving. And here we are. I've got some shows coming up, and I'm very excited about being able to perform these songs live and meet new people. I'm just, I want to say I must stumble and on my words, and I've been told stop saying and because I do that a lot. I get very nervous when I do interviews. I have to be very honest with you, and I'm better at performing.
Well, nothing to worry about. Just take a deep breath and imagine you're performing here. So I find it interesting, you know, this amazing array of people that you have playing on your album.
Yes.
Over time, is it a lot of word of mouth, people recommending others? You know, I know you've probably played with many other people. How did you come up with this mix of players, and how do you find the new ones?
Well, honestly, I meet a lot of players by going to local jams, and some of it is word of mouth, and also just having friends playing out a lot, performing out. You meet so many other players, and we all like to meet each other and talk shop. And I met Bobby Watson at a jam, believe it or not. And I think for those listening, every time I say you are allowed to take a shot. Also, I've met players by watching them perform and just going up to them and introducing myself. That's always a really good way of meeting someone. And you know, it's sometimes the best players are just introduced to me by other players, and that's always a joy. Like Laurie, she was introduced to me, and she's just incredible.
Yeah, it's kind of like coming up with special paints and flavors to, you know, create with, you know,
Yeah.
different types of people that maybe have never played together or been on the same project, or people
Oh
that,
yeah. Oh
you
yeah.
know.
And making this album that I did, you know, each song has a specific flavor to it. And I brought different players with their different sounds and abilities to complement each song. And that was so fun to do because it was like putting a puzzle together. And you know, I've got Lynn Coulter, who's an incredible drummer on some other songs because he's so musical. Just the way I mean, we've done so many live performances together, and he has brought out some incredible sound makers, and he's so fun to work with. And then I've got Vince White on some other songs, and we do a lot of blues together, and he's a great songwriter as well. And you know, all these different players are like different seasonings that you would put in your special stew. And it's so super fun. Playing music is the best thing in the world, just because how fun it is, how intense it can be, how emotional it is, and the places that it takes you, the people that you never thought you would meet, you get introduced to. So many different personalities. It's fantastic. I couldn't dream of having anything. This is just the best thing in the world. I am so grateful to do what it is I do. And it makes it even more fulfilling when people actually like what it is I'm doing. So it makes it worthwhile.
Yeah,
And
and you know, go ahead. I was just
yeah,
gonna say it's a universal language.
it
People
certainly
can
is.
enjoy the music if they don't even speak the same language that you guys speak.
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's brought to me so many deep and close relationships, and I'm generally a shy person, so being able to have this music as an outlet for me, because I could be whatever character I choose to be on stage and present myself in a manner that is being able to tell a story, entertain people, make them laugh, make them smile and cry, and all of that good stuff. It's very powerful.
Yes, yes. Well, I know there's a great show coming up for those in Southern California, VeniceWest, February 6th. Tell us about that show and who will be in your band that night.
Well, I'm going to have in the night, I will have Tim Felton on bass, Masami Kuroki on guitar, Vince White on guitar, Brian Head on drums, Brad Black on trumpet. Incredibly talented band. These guys are fantastic. They're super nice, super cool, super wonderful, incredibly talented. And did I say, and Brian Head on drums? Did I mention that? And
Yes.
yeah, and oh my gosh, Brad Black on trumpet. This guy, when people say I've got like a horn section, I've got like 5 horns, I've got this, like I have Brad. And he blows everybody away. And after we perform, everyone's just like, who was that guy? We have so much fun. We're really looking forward to it. This is a venue that I don't believe we've performed at before. And we're just super happy to get out because it's been a while. The last show we had was, I think it was December before Christmas. And that was for us a while ago. Those of us who perform a lot, we get used to playing once a week, every other week at least. It's been taken away. It's been a struggle for everyone. So it's really wonderful to get out. I really hope that people show up and support live music right now. There's a huge need for people to get out into the world again and normalize and celebrate life and enjoy music. Music is healing, and it's something that is, like you said, universal. And I think it just heals. It just feels good to get out and listen to live music, tap your foot, dance around, enjoy seeing other people.
Yeah, we can enjoy it on TV, on video, on YouTube, but there's nothing like the electricity in a room.
Yes.
And we can do it safely.
And the sound is so much
distanced.
better when it's live. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no question. A recorded work is one thing, but you don't know, what process and how long it took. But live, it's without a net.
True.
When the drummer hits the drum and the guitars hit the strings, it's there, mistakes and all. And
Yeah.
and we like that, even if there is a little imperfection, because
that's the best.
It's human. It's not a computer.
Exactly. That's the ultimate powerful uniter, because you cannot explain it unless you experience it. But most people have experienced going to a live performance of in some range, and it's the ultimate. I mean, our ancestors were doing it around fires millions of years ago, and here we are working hard to still be the jesters in the court. That's how I look at it.
Yeah. And where did you grow up? Are you Southern Californian yourself?
Yes, I grew up in Los Angeles, near downtown Los Angeles, and went to Hollywood High School, the performing arts school, and lived my life in Los Angeles. And it's really interesting because you very rarely meet people who were born and raised in Los Angeles. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's always rare. We're a melting pot of so many people from countries and states, and they're all here. And
Yeah.
I've always wondered about Hollywood High myself. You drive down Sunset Boulevard like I did yesterday, and you're thinking, God, can you imagine going to school like on this street? I mean,
Yeah.
you're a few doors down from everything from Hollywood Boulevard to Sunset Boulevard, and it seems like there'd be so many distractions. But obviously,
There were.
if you got good teachers,
Oh, there were plenty of distractions away from the teachers. In fact, some of the teachers were involved in some of the distractions. That was quite an interesting, I mean, books can be written. There are songs to be told about my time spent there. I spent a lot of time hanging out in Hollywood. I wrote a song, as a matter of fact, called Starshines that was about my time being a young child living in Hollywood and hanging out there.
Wow. Were there any other creatives we might know that went through the school either during you or that you heard as alumni there?
Oh gosh. Well, I'm sure there were, and I imagine if anyone is listening, they're thinking, well, mention me. Well, I did go to another school. I went to school with the Arquette family, and they were dear friends for a while. That's another shot. And gosh, yeah, I guess living in LA, you meet so many people that you don't really think about where they come from or who they become later. It's, I don't know, it's I'd have to think about that one. I know that there's tons of people in my class that moved on to become directors and writers and actors. Yeah, that was all our dream. So some of us went on to Juilliard.
Yeah, the Walk of Fame, there's stars up and down the streets there, and of course the Musicians Institute now across the street, and
Yeah.
so many people come to the area there, and of course now we have the Jimmy Kimmel Show, which used to have the big concerts in his back parking lot right there,
Yeah.
next to Hollywood
Yeah.
High and their gymnasium and all of that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And where his studio is a building where as kids we used to hang out at and sit outside in front of, and then the back where he has his outdoor stage set up, we used to sit there. And I believe there was a touring art show of photographs from the punk rock era in Hollywood, where there were, I guess there was an art exhibit of these photographs, and apparently I was in some of them. And some of those photos were taken behind that building in an alleyway where we all used to hang out and ditch class. It was PE, so it was okay.
Yeah, no, it's got to be different,
Oh, totally
no
different.
question. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to the VeniceWest show.
Me too.
The Ghost singles. We encourage everyone to go out and check out your website, get linked up to all that you have. I know you got a beautiful piece of vinyl behind you there, and you've got all your products.
I'm super proud because vinyl record. Oh my God. This. Well, am I on camera? This is, wait, there I am.
Yeah.
This I'm so super proud of. So inside of this is this one's not open, booklet. There's other photographs. I have all of the lyrics to all of the songs. It's something I've always wanted to do because making music is really expensive, especially with independent artists. And we do everything that the other artists that have lots of money behind them do. It's just that we're doing it ourselves so we can own all of our music. My goal with this was to do all of the songs myself because I wrote all of the songs and I needed them to stay true to how I originally heard the sound. And so I recorded them that way. And I put all of the lyrics inside as well, because I felt that was something that, being a little older, when I was a kid, I'd buy a record album and you would have the lyrics in the album to sit and enjoy and experience the music. And so I felt that that's something that's lost in our culture right now, because so many people listen to music on their laptops and iPhones, and this album was meant to be listened to with headphones on and to experience. And I ask everyone to read the lyrics, and so you can understand them yourself in your own way. And I had all these great female photographers also as well take pictures of me and how they saw me, and that's also in this package. It was super fun to do because throughout my music career, I've been so broke. I've been able to put out cassette tapes, CDs, and finally vinyl. And it's been super, I keep saying that word super. It's been incredibly wonderful, powerful for me to be able to accomplish that goal. Even though when I started doing it, I really felt, nobody's going to buy a vinyl album. Who has record players anymore? I was surprised because people actually buy them at shows, and they order them in the mail, and it's really fun because I think records are having vinyl comeback, which is pretty cool.
Well, yeah, no, the news now is not only is vinyl booming, but people are returning to CDs slowly but surely, because it's one thing to hear a computer file and a stream and all that.
Yeah.
There's nothing to look at. There's nothing to read.
Right.
We miss having that portability of having something physically in our hand, whether we're playing it in our car or playing it at home, whether
Yeah.
it be vinyl or a great, digital disc. And, they should be able to coexist.
I agree. Yeah, and it's kind of important because it's part of our history's culture, music culture, that how it's evolved and has been now. And I think it's important to hold on to some of the old stuff. Listening to a vinyl record has a certain emotion that comes with it. I don't know what it's like to be 20 years old right now and listen to a record, but I do know what it's like to have a connection, because that's how I grew up, was listening to records. So when I listen to records now, it just kind of puts me in a time capsule. It's just fun. It just is a different way to listen to music. There's so many ways to listen to music right now in this moment in time. We're super blessed as a human species to be able to have the ability to listen to music that's made all across the world at our disposal in seconds. It's incredible, and I'm just really blessed to be doing what it is that I'm doing and having my dreams fulfilled by making that final record finally.
Yeah, we encourage everybody, support the artists, support physical products, support the live events. Go out and check out this great artist coming up February 6th, VeniceWest. Go get her vinyl. I mean, right up the street at Amoeba Records, they have lines down the street. People can't wait to get their hands on physical product,
Yeah, Amoeba Records.
Collectible, and at a show, it's something you can sign for them. You can personalize the front of that vinyl with a Sharpie, and now they have a work of art. They have a collectible, in their domain. So it's been a real pleasure. We look forward to the show and new single Ghost. Check out her album. And our special guest has been SAYED SABRINA. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Jay, so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Talk to you soon. Take care.